At the World Forum in Macau, Claire Warden, developer of the Nature Pedagogy, brought a taste of the outdoors to curious attendees. Her idea is to remind educators of young children how vital it is to connect children with natural elements. The display focused on water, earth, fire, and air.
So one of the things that we were trying to do around nature was to make sure that it was fundamental down to the different elements. So thinking about water, which is kind of the provocation in this space. And then the panels really are about trying to raise children's voices. So these were, some people sent me images. So these are the images and the stories of place. And then at the bottom, it was really important that we both identified the education, because this is more about pedagogy. So we're looking at the learning behind the experience, but then also looking at the children's voices at the bottom and making sure that we're raising forward their voices.
But if we can help them fall in love with nature when they're young, we know that those are the people that are going to be the caregivers of this planet tomorrow, because we only care as human beings for the things that we love. And I think you look at these images here and say, man, these are kids that are going to want to take care of this planet when we're old and gone.
And then moving into the element of nature with fire. And fire, I think, is one of those elements that people worry about. But for me, fire has now been interpreted to be light and shadow.
As caretakers, we always tend to look at it just from the children's perspective, and here you're highlighting the environment. It's the place we live in, it's the place we work in, it's also our teacher, our first teacher.
We sometimes portray the natural world in a very beautiful way, but people are faced with tarmac, they're faced with brick, and so this space was okay. If you had nothing else but the air, what could you do?
The way in which the children are part of nature and they feel the sense of being at one with nature. You know, this lovely image of the little girl smiling into the sun and opening her arms to the light and the breeze is just, you know, it's an elemental interaction that's happening there. And that's the same with all of these images.
Working with what you have, like the point you just made here, that what if I don't have anything and I just have brick, what do I do? I think we are seeing it all over the place. Whether you have just water and mud, you can do the most with that. Whether you just have rocks, there's something to do with everything around you. I think for me that is powerful.
Trying to really focus on making what people see as ordinary, extraordinary, and that they really are looking and appreciating the things that are right underneath their feet and right on their doorstep, because there's always an aspiration for other. But actually, I think here what we're trying to do is to say the panels have been made by different people, and sharing the fact that as a global society, which is what we all love about the World Forum, is that we can actually make a real difference, I think, in the lives of children and families.